Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dockery Docket podcast. The podcast where we aren't mad, we're just extremely disappointed. Now, I believe that the only episode that I have made about Jeffrey Epstein came almost a year ago when a list came out of different celebrities that may have been on the Jeffrey Epstein list. And ever since that list came out, this story has continued to grow. Donald Trump ran his campaign on releasing the Epstein files. Trump ran on the campaign promise that his administration was going to be very transparent. And finally, this Epstein list would be released. All of these different celebrities would finally be exposed. People in government would be exposed. And finally, we would see justice for the people that were hurt by Jeffrey Epstein and also these terrible, evil, crooked people. And finally, yes, finally, we would have evidence that would lead us to believe that Hillary Clinton actually killed Jeffrey Epstein. I'm just kidding. That's a joke, Hillary. Please don't attack me. Anyway, there were a lot of questions surrounding this Epstein situation, and the Trump administration was tasked to get to the bottom of it. And finally, they were going to start releasing documents, but as time went on, this whole story started to hit the back burner for some reason. Now, first, when Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, came into office, she was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. I'm gonna need time to get all this stuff figured out. And that made sense. Trump just won re-election. You have a lot of time. Just wait, get the documents, and then release them. I can wait a little bit until these documents come out. As long as they come out, Pam Bondi, you're good. Then a few months passed, and still nothing was coming out. But wait, there was a meeting between Pam Bondi and a bunch of conservative influencers that say the Epstein files phase 1. Oh my goodness, is this finally it? Are we finally going to get some answers? In this binder, are there names? Are there people in there that are terrible people that did evil things with Epstein? Let's open those puppies up and see what we got inside. Oh, absolutely nothing. Just a bunch of redacted stuff and a bunch of stuff that we already knew. But you know what? I'm going to give Pam Bondi the benefit of the doubt. And it also said on the binder that this was just phase 1. I can assure you right now that phase 2 has these different people's names. I'm telling you, I can feel it in my bones. Also, all of these different Epstein documents are being held up in the Southern District of New York. So Pam Bondi couldn't have released all the files because all the files are in New York. And Pam Bondi has also asked the FBI director, Kash Patel, to get on that. Well, that's perfect. Kash Patel is on it. He's going to get these extra documents. Pam Bondi's going to put them all together in another binder and release phase 2. And Pam Bondi even set that date, and everyone is excited. Everyone's waiting for it. And what happens? That date comes, that date goes, and there isn't a phase 2 of the Epstein files. But that's okay because I know that there is a list. I know that Pam Bondi is on Fox News all the time talking about how the list is on her desk. The files are on her desk. All that she has to do is look through them, make sure that they're good, and then she will release them. I still have hope. I still have faith. Well then, a bombshell memo dropped from Axios, which claimed that the FBI and DOJ said that there is no list, and also Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Wait. I'm confused because Pam Bondi said that the list was on her desk the whole time. What is this report even talking about? There's no way that this is true. Well then, the next day after this memo comes out, Pam Bondi comes out and tries to explain herself. No, I didn't mean a list. I meant all of the documents of Jeffrey Epstein were on my desk. So my question is, why don't you release that? What's going on with that? I know that some of it is bad information, like child pornography and stuff, but can you at least release something? Can you at least help us understand what's going on in this situation instead of leaving us in the dark? And we all know that Pam Bondi meant that the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients were on her desk because she continued to say this on Fox News. Take a look at this video.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen? It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay, well, we'll check back with you.
Also, Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. That meme has been going on for a long time, and there is no way that Dan Bongino or Kash Patel believe that.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Oh crap, they do. So at first, there's an Epstein list. Everyone's talking about it, but now there's no list. Maybe Epstein killed himself or something nefarious happened in that jail cell to now we know for a fact that Epstein literally killed himself. And then they try to make all of this make sense by releasing a video of Jeffrey Epstein's cell. But there's a minute missing, which was explained by Pam Bondi as every single night it does the same thing, but there's a problem with this video as some people are claiming that that's not even Jeffrey Epstein's cell. What in the world is going on here?
We've been duped!
Duped!
Bamboozled!
We've been Smeckledorfed!
That's not even a word, and I agree with you.
All of this looks like a big cover-up, as even Donald Trump is trying to backtrack on all of this Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Take a look at this.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. It just seems like a desecration.
Why are we still talking about Epstein? Why are we still talking about this creep? It's an important question to ask. And it has an answer. Because I believe that the reason that people won't shut up about Jeffrey Epstein is because this is bigger than Jeffrey Epstein. It was about transparency. When all of those influencers went to the White House that I already talked about, and they got those binders, at the very bottom of those binders, it said, the most transparent administration in history. And as you already know, those binders were full of crap. And this is why so many Republicans are so angry about this. Because we want to see accountability. We want to see people go to jail. We want to see people charged for their crimes that they did. We want closure from these different stories. We want to know who shot JFK. We want to know the ins and outs of the MLK files. We want to know all of this stuff. And when you continue to bury this and say it's not a big deal, we're not going to talk about it anymore, people start to ask questions and people start to think, hey, maybe something deeper is going on here. And that's the thing too. We don't want the government that I and you voted for, to lie directly to our faces like this. It hurts us. And you know what it does? It makes Donald Trump and the administration look extremely guilty. Because you want to know what the Democrats are doing right now? They are running around claiming that Donald Trump is in these files. He's in these Epstein files, and there are videos out there of him doing inappropriate acts with minors. And this isn't just the left. Elon Musk also made this very clear in their X-Spute. We know that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein have had a past. They have pictures together. Not all those fake crappy pictures, but there are real pictures of Trump with Epstein. Trump had a lot of parties at Mar-a-Lago, and Epstein sometimes showed up to them. Later on, Trump kicked Epstein out of his club for apparently harassing another member's daughter. And this was before Epstein was even arrested in 2008 for doing inappropriate things with a minor. Now, does this make Trump innocent? Him kicking Jeffrey Epstein out? No, it doesn't. It is still fishy that the files haven't been released. But we also have to remember that all of these files and this apparent list was in the possession of the Joe Biden administration before Donald Trump came into office. And don't you think that if Joe Biden and his DOJ had it, that they would try to look into it and see if Donald Trump had inappropriate relations with a minor? If there's a video, if there's sound audio of Donald Trump saying that he wants to do inappropriate things with minors, you would think that the DOJ of Joe Biden would release that and be so excited because it would sink Donald Trump. I mean, they tried to arrest the man, and him being a pedophile would just be icing on the cake. Now, I might be wrong, and there may be a video out in our world somewhere where Donald Trump is doing inappropriate things with minors, and that would be wrong, and I would call for him to be impeached and removed. However, I was also told that there was a P-tape, and that Donald Trump was working with the Russians to steal the 2016 election, so I think I'm allowed to be a little bit skeptical. Along with that, the reverse could be true. Donald Trump could release all these files and claim, look, Jeffrey Epstein and I were friends, and I kicked him out when I found out that he was doing inappropriate things with minors. Here are the files. I'm sorry. I never went to the island. I never did inappropriate things. But I knew that Jeffrey Epstein was a very bad man. That right there would be transparent. That right there would be honesty. I would rather see something like that than this sort of cover-up that we are seeing right now. Because as I said in the Island Boys video, I really recommend that you go and watch that one. All because you're on this Jeffrey Epstein list doesn't mean that you're guilty. You may have hung out with Epstein, or maybe you were one of his lawyers. We have to remember that in our government, in our system, you are innocent until proven guilty. So if a list does come out, we have to remember that not all of those people are pedophiles until we can actually look into different stories and see if they are actually guilty of a crime. And if these people are proven guilty, even Donald Trump, then they should go to jail and lose their jobs. I will be honest with you, this was the first time in this administration that I have been very disappointed. Not angry or mad, but just disappointed. I believe that Donald Trump has done a lot better than Kamala Harris ever could do. But this is just a roadblock. This is just a hiccup. And I'm hoping and I'm praying that somehow we can get around this. Maybe we can release some of the files. Maybe the list will come out. I don't know yet. But it is extremely disappointing nonetheless because people changed their vote in the 2024 election because they wanted to have a transparent administration. They wanted these different files released, and now there is nothing to show for it. I still trust Dan Bongino, and I still trust Kash Patel, but Pam Bondi, she's looking a little bit rough. I believe that she has lied too many times to stay in this administration, but I don't think that Donald Trump will kick her out, so we'll just have to see what happens next. And we will probably never have closure on this issue, which really stinks. And with that, I just want to thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Dockery Docket. And until next time, like my mom always says, be good, be kind, be loving, goodbye.